cheers. I was already rambling for another 20 minutes and then I noticed that my remote didn't work, so I didn't make a video and I'm starting all over again. But that doesn't matter. Of course, there's a reason behind it, so maybe this one is going to be different and for more importance, I don't know. But anyway, happy to see you again. Really happy to see you again, and I still am so thankful for all the reactions I get. It's just amazing, and it's also pulling me through the time here. I'm so thankful. And today it's day 9, which is a miracle. It's a miracle because I have been sick for 31 years and I wasn't ever able to heal, whether that was physically or mentally or psychologically. And now I think my higher power, my God, has prepared me for this very moment, and that this really is the moment for me to pull it through and to go all the way into recovery. And yes, my days are going up and down, and still every single day I'm fighting to not give up, and even 24 hours, because I'm still sleeping quite bad here, and in the night I'm still struggling with it. But there's also something in me growing that wants me to stay and to go on and to keep on going, and to fight for my life and for my future, and also for future of you guys as well, because I know that you are walking this road with me, and that is so amazing to hear. And I'm so thankful again for the shares of you people, and please read each other's comments as well, because there are other people who are really could use your support as well. There are so many people who have their own struggles and their own challenges, and know that I read everything and I really try to comment on every single one of you, because my heart is going out to you as well, and I really want to root for you, pray for you, be there for you, listen to you, and share what I'm going through, but also carry a little of your burden with me as well, as how you do it for me also. So that is amazing. So thank you for that as well, also for your vulnerability and honesty. And what I want to share today is something that happened yesterday, and also why I didn't upload yesterday. I will spare out the details because that would make it too long, but in a nutshell, what happened yesterday, there is a nurse here and she triggers a real big trauma in me. When I was 17, I went to the first eating disorder clinic, and at that time they didn't know yet about my intestine problems being medical. I didn't even know myself. I mean, I have been sick since I was 6 years old, but I didn't know that the damage was lasting, and that a big part of my physical problems were just really medically. And at that time everybody thought, okay, she has an eating disorder, she just has anorexia and has to recover, and she has to be force fed, etc. And at that time it was allowed in eating disorder clinics to force feed people very quickly. And what they did, they just shut you down into a room. You had to eat something, and otherwise they would just, well, get it in you one way or the other. And that was really a trauma for me. And there is somebody here who triggers that in the way she talks to me and approaches me, and that is not her mistake. Neither is it mine, but it does make that I feel very unsafe and scared whenever I see her. And she is actually somebody who is really also very rigid in treating me in a way that makes it even worse. So what happened was, she said, you need to do exactly what I say. This is time to eat. These are the amounts. I'm going to sit next to you. I'm going to control you, and just do what I say and eat it. And that was making me so stressed out, because the other nurses aren't doing that at all, because I love to eat. You know, I'm always happy when I can eat again. And of course, my intestines hurt and my stomach protests sometimes, etc. Or sometimes quite often, but I still love to eat. So you don't have to force me, or just let me be in peace. And I'm not a slow eater. You don't have to talk every bit in me or something, you know. Just give me a plate of food and I eat it, and I'm happy when I can enjoy it. So that works the best for me. And the other nurses notice that, and they treat me quite, yeah, how do you say that? At least in a way that is normal. I mean, they see me enjoying my food and not moaning and just eating it within the time. By far, I'm always much quicker because you get half an hour for a meal. I mean, goodness, I don't need half an hour to eat a meal. I'm finished in 10 minutes or in 15 minutes. I know, you know, I eat just normal tempo. But it triggered something in me and I just couldn't eat. And I was really angry at myself because I wanted to eat, but I just couldn't. So I asked, is there another nurse who can sit with me, because they need to sit next to me? But she said, well, no, I'm the one standing for you today, so nobody else is going to sit here. And I said, but I really can't eat. It's not you. It's just my trauma, and it's not your fault, anything, but I just can't, and I couldn't get through this. But the thing was that she said, well, if you're not going to do it exactly the way it is, you're just not going to get anything at all. So I didn't get a meal. That was the first meal of the day. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm so hungry. Well, this time they left the cupboard open again, and the fridge as well. And now I ate things out of the cupboard and the fridge because I was really hungry. And this was physical hunger. And I did eat some things I am intolerant for. That was not smart. And I also took a few cappuccinos out of the vending machine. I have a lactose intolerance. That is not smart. And I was already, set up, how do you say that? A little off guard with that, because I really didn't want to. But my body was just screaming for food. And then upset was what I wanted to set up. I mean, okay, good. My English isn't perfect, as you hear. I was upset. But then the next meal, the same thing happened. And my panic was growing. And I really couldn't eat anymore. But when you skip a big meal, for me, that is not a good thing. And my body is now getting used to have 5 to 6 quite good meals a day, because 3 would be too big, so they spread it over 5 to 6 meals. And when I miss one, my body is now really reacting quite strongly. So I got a hypo. And I went to the nurses and I told them, I'm having a hypo, can I please have something to eat? But she was still my nurse during the day, and she said, no, you can't. And I was upset, but then I got a visitor, my friend stepped by, and it was okay for a moment, but I felt worse and worse and worse, and my hypo got really bad. And usually you have a hypo when you go below 4 in your sugar levels. With me, they say it's okay to go to 3, but when you get under that, you really need to eat. And now my sugar levels were between 1 and 2, and that is dangerous. I mean, you can get into a coma and even die when you're physically this weak as I am. So I wasn't able to really talk normally anymore. I was sweating, I was dizzy, I was shaking, I was almost fainting. And my friend went with me to the nurses and she said, we really need to do something now. She didn't. She refused to do it. And today I talked about it with the doctors because they weren't there anymore. I asked, can I please speak to a doctor? And my friend asked for that as well, or for other nurses. But this nurse is one of the head nurses, so nobody dared to say something to her against her word, because their job is at stake as well. So I had to sit out the time till the next meal. And it really scared me. It really scared me because it made me feel so unsafe. And luckily the next meal there was another nurse, because they have different times that they work. So this nurse was going home and I got another nurse and I could eat, and I was so thankful and so happy to eat. But that was yesterday. It was a real struggle. And of course I wanted to go home again, you know. Then I want to flee. It was my fight and flee reaction, and I wanted to give up, and I felt so sick. I can't explain how it feels when you have such a hypo, but it feels literally as if you can't breathe anymore, as if you're choking, as if you're just out of a body experience or something. I was feeling high and dizzy and all at the same time. But what I also want to state is my friend was there, and even though she couldn't do anything because she doesn't have any power here, of course, she was there. And she hugged me and she stayed with me till I got some food, so till the next meal. And I was so thankful for that, because otherwise I really think I would have just went somewhere, eat something and get the hell out of here, you know, because this is, I'm in a hospital to heal, to let be taken care of me, not to let me die here, you know. Oh, that's the other way around. And of course it's a mistake, and of course this doesn't happen usually, and I don't want to blame anyone, but the doctor that I spoke to today, and I told him, he said, ooh, this is a mistake, this really shouldn't have happened. And at this moment the woman has corona, she went home this morning, and yeah, it's not nice to say, but I'm actually a little happy that she doesn't work the rest of the week anymore, otherwise she would have been my nurse all week long. And that would have been hard. So I'm, yeah, actually, when I'm very honest, I'm thankful to God that she's not working anymore, even though I really hope she doesn't get that sick. But, well, a lot of people get corona and don't really get sick anymore. So I hope that's the case for her, that she's not very sick, but that she can come back this week. So that was for me a relief. But when she comes back, the doctor said we're really going to talk to her and ask her why she did what she did, because it's not supposed to work this way. Anyway, the thing I learned of this is one, everything can happen to you, and I am the one deciding what to do, but this is something that is just happening, and it's not a reason for me to flee. And that love heals. So what my friend was there for me, she really pulled me through, and the hug she gave me and sticking with me till I got my food, and it was so helpful. It was so helpful. And this is live contact, and I just want to challenge you as well, when you're going through your own struggles and into recovery. I really pray and hope for you that you have people around you who can pull you through at the moments that you need it the most, because we are meant to do this in life together. Of course, we are all individuals with our own lives, but the struggles in life, let us take the burdens together. You know, it will make it much easier. And when I take a little of your burden and you take a little of mine, our burdens won't be heavier than we can take, but the pleasure and the feeling of doing this together will pull us together through this. And that is also what I hope from this channel and for you in your own life. So we're in this together, like I often say. Okay, I'm going to do a quote. And this one is... sorry, my battery is almost empty. I hope it will last till the end of the video. This quote is of... Thich Nhat Hanh, and I don't speak Vietnamese, so I hope somebody who is here on this channel can tell me if my pronunciation is good, and if not, please correct me, because I would love to say it right. But okay, Thich Nhat Hanh is a Vietnamese monk, and he brought mindfulness to the Western society, and he had a quote, and I will first say it in Dutch. Met jouw glimlach maak je het leven mooier. It's a very short quote, and it's a very easy one, but it's so true again, even though it seems a little superficial. First say it in English, because you don't know what I'm talking about. But it says, with your smile, you make life more beautiful. And you know, I often get reactions on my smiling, and I do notice that I smile so often here, because my character is very positive, and I always have smiled in my life so often. But during the last years, when I was deep in my misery, I didn't smile at all. Hardly ever. I mean, maybe once a day, but that's it. You know, and now I'm constantly having a smile on my face just because I feel so thankful and happy, and it's just, I don't know. You know, it's just such an amazing experience. I'm so happy to be alive. And even though I think this struggle and this challenge I'm facing right now is the biggest I've ever been through in my life, it's also like D-Day now. You know, this is the one final struggle. I'm getting through this right now. And no, I don't feel it always. And yes, I have my doubts. Every single day, I'm still every single day doubting whether I am able to stay here. And maybe that will last until the end of the time that I'm here. Maybe I'm gone next week. Maybe I will stick out the 6 weeks I'm allowed to stay here. I just don't know. But I keep it in the day, one day at a time. I don't have the strength or the faith to fight for tomorrow. Only I have the strength and the faith to fight for today. But according to that smile, people here are very sick. And they have all their own challenges and their pain. And there are a lot of depressed people here. And but I notice that people start smiling when I get in touch with them, you know. And I just love it. And there's also a man who is very severely depressed. And every time when I sit with him and I'm talking to him, he just starts smiling. And you don't want to know how happy that makes me, because to see somebody who is so severely depressed and really struggling to get through life and then putting such a big smile on his face, it's lighting up his whole face and his eyes, and I love to see it. So that makes me smile again. And please remember, every single time that you smile, it makes yourself more happy. I told it before, but only smiling is just making some serotonin and dopamine in your brains, which are neurotransmitters that will make yourself feel happy already. Even though you don't smile for a reason, just go and smile and you will feel a tiny little better. And of course, the people around you will feel better as well when you smile at them, because everybody gets happier and more positive with smiling faces around them, or your own smiling face looking at yourself. So that's always a good thing to do. And that is what I want to end this video with. Yeah, that is enough for today, but I love to talk to you again. Looking forward to your comments, and we'll keep in touch. Big hug from me out of the Netherlands, and see you next time. Bye, sweethearts.